So art has a lot to do with defining the narrative, and people have been shut down because they don't feel like they have a voice. And it's been art that's been giving them a voice and agency. Racism happens in all different types of levels. So let's break that down a little bit.
I want you to first figure out what's the problem, who's responsible, what are the actions required, and what are the solutions. I want you to do that first.
Envision a world where there's racially equitable and just schools.
What is racism? Racism is race discrimination plus power. Historically, structural power.
But I struggled so much with my identity because of all the labels that were put on me. That's why it's so important to know who you are.
We want to create the idea that there's only one race, the human race, and that we're all equal. When I can go to my school, my classroom, the lunchroom, and I see that brothers of different cultures are sitting together, and then when that happens, it's going to change the community and eventually the world.
Those deep-seated internal stories that we never talk about, that's what we're tapping into. And we've been given a forum to address it and slay it. And that's what's so exciting to me.
We have to be able to understand that the power and the belief of who we are lies within us and not within who others think that we are.
Let me talk a little bit about what we found. And the first one really is about optimism. Dallas residents think race and race relations and racial equality is going to get better over the next 5 years as opposed to getting worse.
Discussions about race don't become energizing and empathetic and unifying just because. We are the people who transform a conversation in which only fear and guilt and shame and defensiveness are possible into one in which understanding is possible, in which liberation is possible, in which justice is possible. We transform that discussion by bringing joy and hope and affection to it, by putting our bodies as well as our hearts and our minds into it.
We've been working with the students and getting them to understand that whatever story you want to portray, you can do that through a mural.
This is Cesar Chavez. Cesar Chavez is a role model to us Latinos, so I'm going to leave my legacy here.
And they're also learning commitment, dedication, and leadership skills.
This mural celebrates immigration. The journey here, as well as the individual pieces that the kids bring with them from their culture, and this look to the future that really is a statement of our common humanity.
I really like how it came out. It's kind of like a celebration of Latinos.
When I started school, it became really obvious that something was wrong with Spanish.
I remember thinking, no one in this new school looks like me.
And so there were 11 or 12 of us in the back of a truck, and we got stuck in downtown Los Angeles. And I noticed that when we got stuck in traffic, people that were pulling up next to us were rolling up their windows and locking their doors. And I became acutely aware of the fact that, you know, because of the way I look, they were making some presumptions about the person that I was.
He's black, said the policeman. He'll have to wait on the black ambulance.
I think racial prejudice is a real sickness of the soul.
The black ambulance arrived and took the young man away. He was dead before they put him in the ambulance. I sat on the curb and cried. That's the way it was. Unfortunately, to some degree, that's the way it is. But that's not the way it has to be.
So I try to focus on the positive aspects of differences. I don't believe that's something that I learned at school. I think it's something that I learned living, that differences are quite positive.
I learned I must speak up for myself, and more importantly, speak out for others who may be fearful.
It's up to each one of us, and it's time.
Let's work together to make Dallas a nationwide model for racial equity transformation.